Listen, Hollywood lied. For too long, black actors were forced to hide who they loved to maintain their careers. Today, we're highlighting 10 men who rejected shame, men who overcame their pain, took back their power, and changed the culture. This isn't gossip, it's history, it's courage, it's the truth the industry has tried to bury. This is a reckoning, names and faces, fights for dignity. Stay, listen, and witness change, now. Eric Marlon Bishop, known to the world as Jamie Foxx, is one of the most dynamic performers of his generation. Born on December 13, 1967, in Terrell, Texas, and raised by his grandmother, Foxx found his passion in music and comedy. He was playing the piano at age 5. In the early 90s, his sharp wit landed him a spot on In Living Color, where his stellar performances helped him stand out. Soon after, The Jamie Foxx Show, which ran for 5 popular seasons, followed. But Foxx's ambitions went beyond laughs. His 2004 role as Ray Charles in Ray brought a major transformation. He closed his eyes to get into character, mastered Charles's moves, and played piano live on set. The role earned him an Oscar for Best Actor, making him only the 3rd black man in history to receive the honor. Add a Grammy and hit singles like Blame It, and few artists can match him in comedy, drama, and music. But behind the fame, Foxx remains an enigma. Rumors about his relationships and sexuality have dogged him for years, but he refuses to fuel them, keeping his personal life private. He has always focused on his career and his family, especially his daughter Corinne, who has made a name for herself in the entertainment industry. After a health scare in 2023, Foxx's recovery has reminded fans of his incredible strength. Jamie Foxx continues to captivate audiences, whether through blockbuster films, soulful music, or stand-up comedy. His career is proof that talent can overcome any stereotype. But his refusal to conform to Hollywood's demands for absolute transparency also sends a message. Not all truths need to be told. Foxx shows us that silence can be a strength, and that sometimes the greatest mystery is what keeps a legend alive. Wanda Sykes has built a career on truth laced with humor. Born in Portsmouth, Virginia, Sykes grew up in a middle-class family. Her father worked for the Pentagon, and her mother was a banker, giving her a disciplined upbringing that seemed out of place in the comedy world. After graduating from Hampton University with a marketing degree, she landed a job at the National Security Agency, NSA. But behind the seriousness of her government work, Sykes had a talent, a sharp wit, and an ability to dissect everyday absurdities. In the late 1980s, she first stepped onto the comedy stage at a stand-up competition in Washington, D.C. That moment sparked a lifelong calling. By the 1990s, she was writing for The Chris Rock Show, which earned her an Emmy in 1999. Soon, she was a familiar face on screen with recurring roles on Curb Your Enthusiasm, The New Adventures of Old Christine, and then Black-ish. Her singing on hits like Ice Age and Over the Hedge further proved her versatility. But Wanda's boldest moment came not from a script, but from her own life. In 2008, at age 44, she stood before a crowd at a gay marriage rally in Las Vegas and publicly admitted that she was a lesbian. Until then, she had kept her private life private, although she had previously been married to a man. That same year, she married her partner, Alex Sykes, a French businesswoman, and in 2009, they welcomed twins Olivia and Lucas. The announcement made her one of the most prominent openly gay black women in Hollywood, inspiring countless others. Since coming out, Sykes has used her platform not only to make people laugh, but also to advocate. She is a passionate advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, often incorporating social activism into her comedy routines. Her humor, sharp, bold, and sometimes political, forces audiences to confront uncomfortable truths about race, sexual orientation, and gender, while still finding the humor. She once joked that, "Comedy is my weapon. If you can laugh, you can deal with it." Her accolades continue to reflect her influence. She was named one of the 25 funniest people in America by Entertainment Weekly and received a Primetime Emmy Award for outstanding writing. In 2019, she was nominated for another Emmy for her Netflix special, Not Normal, which combines sharp humor with commentary on politics and identity. Today, Wanda Sykes is more than just a comedian. She's a cultural force. She represents courage, presence, and the transformative power of being authentic. In a world where many people are still afraid to come out, Sykes reminds us that authenticity is not only liberating, it's revolutionary. Through humor and honesty, she has built a legacy that proves laughter can change hearts and even laws. Tyler Perry's journey is one of the most remarkable success stories in modern entertainment. Born into poverty, he grew up under the burden of an abusive father and struggled with despair so deep that he contemplated suicide. Writing saved him. After watching an episode of The Oprah Winfrey Show about the healing power of journaling, Perry began writing letters to himself. Words that quickly evolved into plays filled with faith, redemption, and perseverance. In the early 1990s, he risked everything to stage his first play, I Know I've Been Changed. The play flopped, leaving him broke and living in his car. But his faith and perseverance never wavered. By the late 1990s, his shows were selling out theaters across the South, drawing in devoted Black audiences. His signature creation, Medea, a no-nonsense gun-toting grandmother, became a cultural phenomenon, blending comedy and wit, making Perry a household name. He didn't stop there. Perry built an empire that spanned film, television, and theater. From Diary of a Mad Black Woman, 2005, to series like House of Pain, his work reshaped how Black storytelling was told in mainstream media. In 2019, he opened Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, a 330-acre structure that made him the first African-American to fully own a major film studio. With a net worth exceeding $1 billion, Perry now stands shoulder to shoulder with some of Hollywood's most powerful moguls. While his career success is undeniable, his personal life has long been the subject of much speculation. Rumors about his sexuality have followed him for years, often related to his role as Medea and his friendships in the LGBTQ+ community. Perry, however, has remained steadfastly private about his personal life. He has never labeled himself gay, straight, or otherwise, and insists that his personal life is his own. His silence, far from being a sign of weakness, has become part of his strength. Beyond his fame, Perry is also a philanthropist and opportunity maker. His studio employs hundreds of Black creatives, and he has donated millions of dollars to disaster relief, education, and pandemic relief. In 2020, he paid for food for thousands of families in Atlanta and New Orleans. 2 years later, he was inducted into the Black Music and Entertainment Walk of Fame, marking his legacy not only as a filmmaker but also as a visionary and an institution builder. Tyler Perry remains a complex yet powerful figure, a man who turned pain into purpose, privacy into strength, and silence into power. His story is a vivid reminder that endurance is more powerful than words, and that success, when rooted in authenticity, can transform entire industries. Coleman Domingo is one of those rare Hollywood adaptables, an actor, playwright, director, and activist whose life reflects resilience and authenticity. Born on April 28, 1969 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Domingo grew up in a working-class family with Caribbean roots. His journey to the arts was not an easy one. He studied journalism at Temple University before moving to San Francisco to pursue theater, where he discovered his true passion. From small theaters to international recognition, his career reflects perseverance and an uncompromising sense of identity. Domingo's early years in entertainment were spent on the stage. His one-man plays, such as A Boy and His Soul, which combine music, memory, and family history, were acclaimed for their raw authenticity. He then appeared on Broadway in Passing Strange and the Tony Award-winning musical The Scottsboro Boys. Each performance showcased his unique ability to bring weight and humanity to characters. Television and film soon followed. Domingo is widely known for his role as Victor Strand on AMC's Fear the Walking Dead, where his commanding presence captivated audiences. But perhaps his most acclaimed television performance was in HBO's Euphoria, where he played Ali, a recovering addict who mentors Zendaya's Rue. For this role, he won the 2022 Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama Series. His film credits include If Beale Street Could Talk, Selma, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and most recently, his Oscar-nominated role as civil rights leader Bayard Rustin in Rustin, 2023. While many actors hide behind roles, Domingo has always been transparent about his life. He is openly gay and proudly married to his husband, Raul Acton Domingo, whom he met through a Craigslist ad in 2005. The couple married in 2014 and became a symbol of enduring gay love in Hollywood. Domingo's openness stands in contrast to an industry that often pressures Black men to hide their identity for marketing purposes. Domingo's contributions are not limited to acting. He is a playwright and director best known for works like Dot and Summer, the Donna Summer musical, where he brings his perspective as a Black gay man into narrative spaces that are often dominated by others. His upcoming directorial projects include a biopic about jazz legend Nat King Cole, demonstrating his dedication to preserving Black cultural history. Off-screen, Domingo uses his voice to advocate for LGBTQ+ rights, racial equality, and representation in the arts. He is a mentor to young artists, often reminding them that authenticity is not only possible, but necessary. His speeches and interviews often emphasize that living fully in your truth is a radical act. As of 2025, Coleman Domingo is more than just an actor at the peak of his career. He is a cultural force. His life proves that success doesn't come from hiding, but from embracing all aspects of yourself. In doing so, he changed the way people viewed being both Black and gay in Hollywood, paving the way for others to follow. Kyla Marsai Martin isn't just a rising star. She's a force that's reshaped Hollywood since she was a child. Born in Texas, she showed a natural talent for acting at an early age. Her parents quickly recognized her talent, enrolling her in modeling and commercials before she turned 10. At just 9, she landed a life-changing role as Diane Johnson on ABC's hit sitcom Black-ish. From 2014 to 2022, her sharp wit and confidence helped her stand out, winning 9 NAACP Image Awards and multiple SAG nominations, cementing her status as one of television's brightest young talents. But Marsai isn't just in front of the camera. At 14, she made history as Hollywood's youngest executive producer with the 2019 film Little, which she also co-starred in with Issa Rae and Regina Hall. The film grossed nearly $50 million worldwide, proving that leadership has no age limit. In doing so, she opened the door for a new generation of young Black creatives, helping them see themselves not just as performers, but as storytellers and decision-makers. However, with fame comes noise. Online speculation about her personal life, including unfounded rumors, arose early on, But Marsai chose to keep quiet rather than make a big splash. Instead of letting the rumors define her, she has channeled her energy into advocacy, using her platform to advocate for inclusion and equality, and establishing herself as a strong ally for the LGBTQ+ community. In addition to acting, she co-founded Genius Productions with her parents to champion authentic Black stories. Her voice has also been a part of animated films like Spirit Untamed, and her influence has extended into fashion and business, landing her on the covers of Essence and Teen Vogue. At just 21, Marsai Martin has already built a career that rivals Hollywood veterans. She represents a new generation of creatives, fearless, visionary, and fearlessly bold. Her story reminds us that you don't wait for permission to lead. You simply believe you belong. Michael Kenneth Williams is one of the most distinctive actors of his generation, an artist who brought strength, pain, and authenticity to every role. Born and raised in the Vanderveer housing complex in Brooklyn with his Bahamian mother, Paula, he grew up surrounded by poverty and the harsh realities of urban life. Yet, even in difficult times, he found an outlet in dance and performance. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, Williams performed for icons like Madonna, George Michael, and Missy Elliott, before fate intervened. At age 25, a violent bar fight left a deep scar on his face, a mark that would become his signature. What seemed to be the end of his career was actually the beginning of it. In 2002, Williams received worldwide acclaim for his portrayal of Omar Little on HBO's The Wire, a complex, openly gay man whose ethics and humanity redefined the image of Black men and queer identity on television. The role established him as a legend, proving that vulnerability can be a strength. Williams went on to deliver unforgettable performances in Boardwalk Empire, 12 Years a Slave, When They See Us, and Lovecraft Country. But behind his success were real struggles, a lifelong struggle with addiction. He spoke openly about his relapses, turning his pain into purpose by advocating for criminal justice reform and mentoring at-risk youth. His honesty was as powerful as his art. Although he never came out publicly about his sexuality, his empathy and portrayal of gay characters made him a symbol of inclusivity and authenticity. Off-screen, he was dedicated to Brooklyn and beyond, working with nonprofits to lift up the voices of marginalized people. Sadly, on September 6, 2021, Michael K. Williams passed away at the age of 54 from an accidental fentanyl overdose. His death left a void in both art and humanity. However, his legacy lives on, in the characters he brought to life and the truths he dared to express. Michael K. Williams taught the world that scars, visible or invisible, do not define weakness. They reveal where strength is born. Euphemia Latika Tika Sumpter has built a career defined by grace, quiet strength, and purpose. Born on June 20, 1980, in Queens, New York, she began not as an actress, but as a model and television host. Her natural poise and charisma first caught attention on BET's Best Friends date, but Tika's ambitions stretched far beyond the small screen. Her breakthrough came in 2005 with One Life to Live, where she played Layla Williamson for 4 years, bringing empathy and complexity to daytime television. Soon, she transitioned into film with Stomp the Yard, Homecoming, Think Like a Man, and her defining performance as a young Michelle Obama in Southside with You, 2016. Critics praised her portrayal for its intelligence, depth, and quiet fire, solidifying her as one of Hollywood's most respected talents. As her fame grew, so did speculation about her personal life. Rumors about her sexuality occasionally surfaced online, but Tika never entertained them. Her silence wasn't retreat. It was self-possession. She's long believed that privacy is not secrecy but power, and she has chosen to let her work, not gossip, define her. Instead, Sumpter has used her platform to amplify Black voices and create space for authentic storytelling. She found love with actor Nicholas James, her co-star from The Haves and the Have-Nots, and together they welcomed daughter Ella Lauren in 2016 before marrying in 2022 in Cabo San Lucas, a celebration centered on love, not celebrity. Beyond acting, Tika co-founded Sugarberry, a lifestyle brand dedicated to supporting Black women through conversations about motherhood, ambition, and self-care. Her off-screen advocacy mirrors her on-screen presence, poised, sincere, and quietly influential. Now in 2025, Tika Sumpter stands as a reminder that true influence doesn't demand noise. It lives in consistency, integrity, and the courage to protect what matters most. Her story proves that sometimes the most powerful statement is made in silence. Jeremy Pope's Hollywood career was groundbreaking. Growing up in a supportive and nurturing family, he pursued his passion for performing early. After graduating from the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York City, he was determined to make his mark in an industry that had rarely embraced gay Black men. His combination of ambition, talent, and authenticity quickly made him a household name. Pope's success on Broadway has been historic. In 2019, he received 2 Tony Award nominations in 1 year, one for Choir Boy, in which he played a young gay college student searching for acceptance, and another for Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Times of the Temptations, in which he played soul singer Eddie Kendricks. That achievement made him only the 6th person in history to receive 2 nominations in the same season, cementing his status as one of Broadway's brightest talents. His television breakthrough came with Ryan Murphy's Netflix series Hollywood, 2020, in which he played Archie Coleman, a gay Black screenwriter who navigates the barriers of a racist and homophobic industry. The role earned him an Emmy nomination and solidified his voice for those long erased from the screen. In addition to acting, Pope has also shined as a singer and activist. His single New Love showcased his smooth vocals and emotional depth, while his off-screen work has championed representation, inclusion, and equality. In 2022, he starred in The Inspection, a gripping drama inspired by true events, as a gay Black Marine in training. The role earned him a Golden Globe nomination, a rare and powerful recognition for an openly gay Black actor. As of 2025, Jeremy Pope is both an artist and an advocate. He represents a generation that is unafraid to embrace all aspects of identity, race, sexuality, and creativity and turn them into power. His journey shows that representation is not just about presence, but also about excellence, creating work so powerful it cannot be ignored. Jeremy Pope is not just building a career. He is building bridges between Broadway and Hollywood, between authenticity and art, and between those who are still silenced, and the world that is finally beginning to listen. Tyrese Gibson's story reads like a movie script, a story that starts on the hard streets of Watts, California, and rises to global fame. Born on December 30, 1978, he was raised by his mother after his father abandoned the family. Money was tight, but his determination was unshakable. At 16, his life changed forever when he appeared in a Coca-Cola commercial, singing Always Coca-Cola on a bus. That moment launched his career and introduced the world to his soulful, powerful voice. In 1998, Tyrese released his self-titled debut album, Tyrese, which featured the hit singles Sweet Lady, earning him a Grammy nomination. His blend of smooth R&B, raw emotion, and powerful vocals won over audiences everywhere. Subsequent albums like 2000 Watts and I Wanna Go There cemented his status as one of the leading voices in contemporary R&B. But Tyrese wasn't content with just conquering one stage. In 2001, he debuted as Jody in John Singleton's Baby Boy, earning critical acclaim. Hollywood quickly took notice, and before long he was starring in global franchises like Fast and Furious and Transformers, balancing his illustrious music and film careers perfectly. But behind the fame came scrutiny. Tyrese was often the target of rumors about his sexuality, whispers that stemmed from his emotional openness and vulnerability. He has consistently denied the allegations, insisting he is focused on his art and his most important role, being a father to his daughter Shayla, born in 2007. Off-screen, Tyrese has faced his fair share of struggles. He's been candid about his depression, heartbreak, and the public breakdown of his marriages to Norma Mitchell and then Samantha Lee, which he divorced in 2020 and garnered significant media attention. Instead of retreating, he has turned his pain into purpose, speaking out about mental health, fatherhood, and healing, using his vulnerability to challenge stereotypes of masculinity. In addition to entertainment, Tyrese is an author and entrepreneur. His books, How to Get Out of Your Own Way and Monology, co-written with Rev Run, explore self-improvement, relationships, and emotional growth. He has also built businesses in real estate and technology, focused on creating generational wealth. Today, Tyrese Gibson is more than just a performer. He's a singer, actor, father, and advocate for emotional honesty, proof that there is no such thing as silence, and that authenticity is a form of heroism. His journey shows that even in an industry built on illusion, the most powerful role you can play is to be yourself. Karamo Brown's life has been defined by firsts, breakthroughs, and healing. Born in Texas to a devout Cuban-Jamaican family, Brown faced challenges early on. At just 15, he came out as gay, a bold move in the mid-1990s when openness for gay black men was virtually non-existent. While his honesty initially caused conflict within his family, it became the foundation for his life's mission: to live his truth and inspire others to do the same. Brown first gained national attention in 2004 as a cast member of MTV's The Real World Philadelphia, making history as the first openly gay black man on reality television. His presence was revolutionary, igniting conversations about race, sexuality, and acceptance in places where those conversations had long been muted. After The Real World, Karamo's journey was far from monotonous. He transitioned from fame to social work, earning his counseling license and dedicating himself to supporting LGBTQ+ youth and families. In 2007, his life changed again when he discovered he had an 11-year-old son, Jason, from a previous relationship. Gaining full custody and later welcoming Jason's half-brother Christian into his home, Brown became a single father while continuing his advocacy and career. In 2018, Brown's empathy and understanding found a new home when he became a cultural expert on Netflix's hit show Queer Eye. With warmth, humor, and emotional depth, he has helped participants confront issues of confidence, identity, and healing. His role has become more than just television. It has become a platform for transformation. Karamo has become an author and motivational speaker. His memoir, Karamo, My Story of Embracing Purpose, Healing, and Hope, 2019, chronicles his personal struggles and triumphs, while I Am Perfectly Designed, co-written with his son Jason, teaches children about self-love and acceptance. Openly sharing his battle with depression, he has used his platform to advocate for mental health awareness, challenge stereotypes of Black masculinity, and redefine the concept of weakness. Now, in 2025, Karamo Brown is more than just a television personality. He's a cultural leader and catalyst for change. From breaking barriers on MTV to leading emotional growth on Queer Eye, his journey proves that authenticity isn't just liberating, it's transformative. His story remains a shining example of courage, representation, and the healing power of words. Donnie McClurkin is one of gospel music's most powerful voices, a man whose life has been marked by faith, pain, and redemption. He grew up in a devoutly religious family, but his childhood was marred by tragedy. He witnessed the death of his younger brother and endured years of physical and sexual abuse by relatives. Those childhood traumas shaped both his faith and his understanding of love, shame, and grace. The church became his refuge. By his teens, McClurkin was leading choirs and writing songs that turned pain into praise. His breakthrough came in the 1990s with his self-titled debut album and the hit song Stand, which became an anthem of perseverance for believers around the world. Over the decades, he has won Grammy, Stellar, and Dove Awards, cementing his legacy as a gospel guru. But behind the fame is a man struggling with his personal truth. McClurkin has been candid about his struggles with sexuality, describing his experiences through the lens of faith. Describing himself as a man who has come out of homosexuality, he has faced both harsh criticism and deep admiration. His story continues to spark important conversations about the tension between identity and doctrine in the Black church. Despite the controversy, McClurkin's ministry endures. As pastor of Perfecting Faith Church in Freeport, New York, for more than 2 decades, he has led thousands of worshipers and collaborated with icons like Yolanda Adams, Kirk Franklin, and C.C. Winans. In 2018, he survived a near-fatal car accident, an event he calls a miracle that renewed his purpose in life. Now in his 60s, Donnie McClurkin is a living testament to grace overcoming imperfections. His journey, marked by faith, doubt, and perseverance, reminds us that faith isn't about walking a perfect path, but about standing firm when life tries to break you. Brandon Kyle Goodman has become one of the defining voices of a new generation, using humor, vulnerability, and bold truths to challenge the way the world views race, gender, and identity. He grew up in a strict West Indian household, where self-expression often clashed with expectations. It was this early conflict between conformity and authenticity that later shaped his art and activism. After graduating from New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, Goodman pursued acting, appearing in films such as Modern Love, Feel the Beat, and Big Mouth, where he also served as a screenwriter, crafting episodes that explored gender identity and Black identity with rare honesty. His work resonates because it's not just a story, it's a truth told. In 2020, in the wake of the Black Lives Matter movement, Goodman's viral Instagram videos about being Black and queer in America resonated with millions. His words, honest, moving, and fearless, sparked conversations about justice, empathy, and solidarity. In addition to his online influence, he co-hosts the podcast Black Fat Femi, which creates space for LGBTQ+, plus-size, and Black voices that are rarely heard in mainstream media. Goodman has been open about his mental health, self-love, and his imperfect path to healing. In 2021, he released his debut book, You Gotta Be You: How to Embrace This Messy Life and Step Into Who You Really Are, a mix of memoir and motivation. Behind the scenes, he is a passionate advocate for diversity in Hollywood, insisting that inclusion must start in the writer's room. His work on Big Mouth and Human Resources has helped showcase intersectional stories told with authenticity and heart. Brandon Kyle Goodman embodies intersectional artistry and activism, representing a generation unafraid to live out their colors. With humor, empathy, and courage, he reminds the world that embracing your truth, vigorously and unapologetically, is not just empowering, it's revolutionary. Jerrod Carmichael is one of comedy's most daring truth-tellers, an artist who dares to expose his own life in order to understand it better. Born into a family built on strong foundations of faith and love with boundaries, comedy became his voice of protest, a way for him to ask questions that his upbringing never allowed. At 20, he moved to Los Angeles, delved into the art of stand-up comedy, and quickly became recognized for his calm voice and fearless sincerity. His HBO specials such as Love at the Store, 8, and Rothaniel have redefined modern comedy. In Rothaniel, 2022, Carmichael came out as gay, combining humor, confession, and vulnerability in an unforgettable performance that earned him an Emmy and critical acclaim for his courage. Audiences not only laughed, but leaned in to hear a man who turned pain into revelation. After Rothaniel, Carmichael continued to push boundaries. He hosted the 2023 Golden Globes, opening with blunt statements about race, pretense, and Hollywood itself. Some found it uncomfortable, others found it revolutionary. It was in that discomfort that he thrived, a space where truth and tension met. His art reflected a contradiction, a deep love for his family, but a distance from their beliefs. In an image-obsessed culture, Carmichael stood out for choosing honesty, no matter the cost. As of 2025, he remains one of the most introspective voices in entertainment, reminding audiences that laughter is not just an escape, it is the truth disguised as humor. Jerrod Carmichael proves that silence may protect you, but honesty, even when it hurts, is what truly sets you free. Authenticity can inspire, but it comes with a price. Should actors reveal their identities to uplift others, or protect their privacy in a world that wants everything? Tell us your view. Does representation need truth, or can art spark change? Comment below, hit subscribe, and share this video to keep the conversation going.